Hey, so this event was taking place at Station F. It's the biggest startup accelerator and incubator in Europe, I think. It's kind of like Y Combinator for our American friends. So they have a lot of spaces and desks you can rent, and you are surrounded by people that are doing stuff. So that's a very interesting place, and I was really excited to discover it because you really cannot enter if you are not a part of it. So yeah, very cool place, but the event wasn't really good. It was lacking very interesting people that were doing excellent things. The majority of companies that were here were consulting companies, and I'm not very fond of those companies because they usually charge a lot to give you a service that is really just the minimum, the good enough. And that's why Steve Jobs didn't really like companies like that at the time when he was at Apple. He was hating consulting companies.
I don't think there's anything inherently evil in consulting. I think that without owning something over an extended period of time, like a few years, where one has a chance to take responsibility for one's recommendations, where one has to see one's recommendations through all action stages and accumulate scar tissue for the mistakes and pick oneself up off the ground and dust oneself off, one learns a fraction of what one can. You're coming in and making recommendations and not owning the results, not owning the implementation, I think is a fraction of the value and a fraction of the opportunity to learn and get better.
I think the main thing is that I was expecting startups to present what they were working on, exciting things, interesting people, young people, and I just met normal people in the consulting business. They were like millennials and the generation before Y or X. And some of them were really interesting, really open-minded, but that was really a tiny part of it, like 10%. And I tried to ask them questions about the way they were working, because they present me their company. I'm just an intern at my school, and I'm working on projects that will never use their services, but they still kept on saying what it was in the details, and I really don't care. I just want to know what they do concretely, and I really felt like it wasn't real. Like they were not working towards a goal that was helping people directly. Like, okay, maybe in the world they are doing like 0.0001% of change, but they are not really making this change. They are just working in the matrix. I don't like that. And I also talked to very cool and open-minded people that were just not aware of what we, Gen Z, were wanting to do in our lives. Like for them, work is just some part of their life. And they work to be able to do other things. But if the work is not interesting or not making much, it's okay for them. And our point of view as Gen Z is that we want to change the world and have an impact, because our work is our life. It's not like separate things. We work all day, all night towards big goals, and working in companies that really don't change the world and could be replaced like that. It's not very interesting. And I think that's why I was sad, because I didn't really meet people I wanted to meet.